Okay, now about hypothesis. So hypotheses are also called the thesis statement. They are generally just one thing, but it can be in two, three parts described, or maybe they are just talking about one thing everywhere. Okay. So before formulating research hypothesis, read about the topic of interest to you. This includes articles, books, cases, anything. In some disciplines, the hypothesis is called thesis statement. Other words for hypothesized are posited, theorized, and proposed. I guess this is very much understandable. Through the disciplinary
Yes.
insight gained in the research process, you prove your hypothesis. Let me show you some example of thesis first, then maybe it will make more sense. So I came across these two theses. This first one is about arsenic biocide filter, a study on the effect of airspace between the resting water and the diffuser basin on arsenical removal and determination of general flow curve. That is the basic statement that they are going to search about. So when I came up with this, I saw that this person gave the abstract. So it was about airspace between the diffuser basin and the resting water level on removal the arsenic by the arsenic biocide filter. It is about that only. The person has given every detail. So acknowledgement again, that is not important. This is list of table, what you will see here, list of figures. Figures means the pictures they have used, maybe. Okay, appendices are also there. And then it is more about content. Okay. And here, the person started. Nepal is second richest country in the world resource in the world, and world water resource it has. So everything, okay. Whatever they are giving, it is always written from where it is coming. Report 2000, Shrestha 2003. Okay, so these figures and facts we cannot give on our own. We have to research a lot. And when we are doing it, if you see at all, it is like and others, Shrestha and others. And this person has written about the abolition of Africans and abstraction, the influence of the novel Savage on British and French analysis and what anti-slavery thought, 1787 to 1807. This is about the history. And this person actually divided things into three things. Like, let me show you. Where is page 5? So, taking a little bit time. Yeah. So, see, as this thesis hopes to make clear, the enlightened talking literal prop of noble savage influenced British and French anti-slavery argument between 1987 to 1807 in two ways. And my thesis to illustrate these connections is in three chapters. So this person has already said that this is
Yes.
going to be three chapters. And then one by one, they have also given that what will happen in one chapter. See, the third and final chapter will tell how anti-slavery argument based in the language of humanitarianism employed the noble African to create empathy among European audience for enslaved blacks. So thesis is not like that you have to only do in one go. You can also make it into parts if that is needed. Now coming back to the topic. Now you have fair idea what our thesis. It has content, it has acknowledgement, it has a list of details, figures, and every reference that they have taken from. And it is not like thesis is going to be just 3-4 pages. It can be even 200 pages, depending on the information needed. Okay, so a hypothesis has to be testable, which means you can support or refute it through scientific research methods such as experiment, observation, statistical analysis of data. Or maybe somebody have said already about with those citations as well. I don't think so. For some research project, yeah, for some research projects, you might have to write several hypotheses that address different aspect of your research question. Similar thing. You can divide it into 3 chapters, 2 chapters, as many chapters as you need. Okay, how to formulate your research hypothesis. Okay.
How to formulate research hypothesis. Read on the topic before making a final decision. Make certain that the topic is researchable in an interdisciplinary sense. As a result of your research, you will get the conclusion. Avoid judgmental words in your hypothesis. Hypothesis must involve an issue or question that cannot be answered exclusively. Be sure that each term in your hypothesis is clearly understood and defined. Your hypothesis may change over time as your research progresses.
So, sometimes after writing, you understand, oh, I did not mention this point. It can have this also. And hypothesis has something. It interprets the controversial questions. Like by writing only, you will understand that people can also claim that this is not true. This could be said at this way. So you also write that. In that matter, you start giving your evidences, not opinions, I would say. So you discuss the things, but you discuss from every perspective so that even if it's going debatable, you have the answer. Okay. So it should have, so it says, must involve an issue or question that cannot be answered exclusively. People will not understand it at one go. They will debate. They will argue with you. So that is how you formulate research hypothesis. So that is kind of hypothesis. It should involve an issue or question that cannot be answered exclusively. People cannot just answer it if people ask it. It should be debatable, it should be arguable, and people should think many perspective, should think about the many perspective around it. If you have picked a question that is answered like at one go and people also agreed, it means it is not a good hypothesis. The question was not good. I told you at the start also, it should be a question that can be arguable, not accepted immediately. So that is cannot be answered exclusively. Okay. Now, how you can develop the hypothesis? Ask a question. The question should be focused, specific, and researchable within the constraints of your project, of your area of study only. Okay. Do some primary, again, this primary research before the question you did that, before coming up with the statement. At this stage, you might construct a conceptual framework to identify which variables you will study and what you think the relationship are between them. For example, that the thing you said, the topic you have about that India and Pakistan economic effects, you will see the perspective of Pakistan, then India. How is it impacting the economy? So you are conceptualizing the framework. What will come first? What is next? And it should be relatable. So if first, like I showed you that dissertation of social media and social media marketing. They first gave the meaning of social media, then the meaning of social media marketing, and then the conclusions. So that's how the relationship between them. Okay. Formulate your hypothesis. Now you should have some idea of what you expect to find. What kind of result you are looking for. Write your initial answer to the question in a clear, concise sentences. Short sentences would work. Don't worry. Okay. Refine your hypothesis. See, once you have created a draft, let's suppose, or you have come up with something, it is not like that it will be your final word. You again have to research. You again have to see if it's making sense all in all. So the relevant variables, what can be the other aspects of it? The specific group being studied. You are only here focusing on the cricket. But then there are multiple billionaires who put a lot of money on these matches. That perspective is also there. The predicted outcome of the experiment or analysis. You did something, what outcome came, and how can you use it? So that is refine your hypothesis. You're again and again researching the material. Phrase your hypothesis in these ways. Okay, this we have to read. To identify the variables means other aspects, you can write a simple prediction if or then form. The first part of the sentence states the independent variable, means only one part of the question. The second part is stated dependent variable, like this one. Wait. So the main was arsenic bias and filter, main part, and this is dependent part, which the person had to explain. Okay. See, hypothesis or thesis is just one statement that you're going to talk about in your whole assignment or whole thing.